So to say that they're coming in and cutting quality, I don't get that. I don't get that statement. It's the exact opposite, if you want my opinion, that they want us putting, a good product out. They want it to be the exact same product. That's why they purchase us, is, to allow us to kind of operate as we were. They didn't buy us to come in and change things.
Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Are you a brewhead? I'm a brewhead. Y'all are brewheads? Yeah, we brewheads. So pour a glass of craft beer, we can do this. Yeah.
What's good, y'all? This is C-Certified Brewhead, and welcome to episode 109 of Beer Nuts, the podcast. And mate, today we are in arguably the most gorgeous place in the country, Breckenridge, Colorado, with Blake Schwalls, lead brewer of Breckenridge Brewpub. Mate, thank you for having us, bro.
Absolutely, buddy.
I just messed up, didn't press play, didn't press record, and we got about a solid...
Take two.
Yeah, right? Could have been worse. We could have gone for 30 minutes. Yeah. Then we would have cried. Yeah. Lucky we were like a minute and a half, so it wasn't that bad. So we're going to start with the beer. Which one are we going to start with?
We're going to kind of work our way up the flight here.
Okay.
This is a Imperial Shandy, 5.3%. It is a lemonade with raspberries, so
amazing.
kind of like a take on raspberry lemonade. Yeah,
love it.
Easy going to start us out.
Bit of Brecky juice.
Yeah.
Solid. So you're saying Imperial Shandy?
Yeah.
What ABV is this one?
It's 5.3%.
5.3.
Yeah. So we did the lemon shandy to start. And it was at 2.4% and just really wasn't selling. We live in a town where people drink to get drunk.
Right.
It's a tourist town. People didn't want to pay $5 for 2.3% beer. Anywhere else in the world, it would sell like hotcakes.
But out here, ski town,
right?
vacation.
So this also kind of plays on like the fun that we get to have up here.
Right.
So I brewed an 8.5% raspberry beer. Blended the two of them. We're at 5.3%, and now it's a lemon raspberry Imperial Shandy.
Is that the name of the
beer? That's
beer?
a thing. Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh, it is now.
It is now.
I always like when people say like session Imperial style.
Right,
or like
right. Oh,
just
yeah.
Playing with the stupid names.
Stupid names.
All right, bro. This is a great start. So let's go into your beer story. So how does one get into beer? What's the deal? Well, how did you actually? Because there's many ways.
So I grew up in Texas.
What city?
I grew up in Dallas, Texas, North
Represent.
Dallas. Then I've always come here growing up skiing. I was big into snowboarding. My family's had a house here for about 10 years.
So you just be your vacay?
Yeah. You just come up here to, just snowboard, hang out. And as time has kind of gone on, we got the house here. Like I said, we've had for 10 years. Mm-hmm. And I was just starting to drink beer here. And Texas is still a very growing beer scene. It's coming around at this point in time, but 10 years ago it was next to Dallas had no breweries,
right.
Basically, literally nothing.
Right.
And so coming here and drinking beer just kind of was going back to Dallas and started home brewing.
Okay.
And I'm I have a very obsessive personality, so I don't really half-ass anything. So I got into brewing, and it was just
took over
it took over my life, and started putting beer in competitions, started winning awards. I had friends. Then breweries started popping up, and I had friends kind of in the industry just because I gravitated to that just from my love of beer, and. I don't know. It just, I kind of wanted to get in the industry, give it a go. Coming up here and staying at the house, my family's house up here, started hanging out here at the Brewpub, and just bringing my home brew up here, kind of mentioning to our head brewer here at the time that just, maybe I kind of want to give this a go, because sometimes a hobby is best left as a hobby.
Very true.
And
Very true.
So I just... After about 2 years of hanging out here, I got a phone call one night when I was back in Dallas and was just hey, one of my brewers is leaving. Do you want to move up? You've kept kind of asking, do you want to get in the industry or you want to? So he said, I can give you a job. I can only give you 1 or 2 days a week. but I don't have to teach you how to make beer. I just got to teach you how to use this equipment.
Right.
You know, because I'm like mashing in like a cooler that I like,
Yeah,
you know, just like total homebrew setup, you know, and which, I mean, it did the job, but dropped everything at the age of like 31 and moved up here. Worked 1 or 2 days a week. I probably did that for about 8 months.
Okay.
Then the guy who I was kind of training to, you know, fill in for took off. I went full time, and I've been here, you know, in October. So next month it'll be 4 years total that I've been here.
Amazing.
Started out as like kind of a paid internship. It's kind of like how I took it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was brewing, so
straight to the
the funny thing that like maybe some people don't understand is like actually the hot side is really the easy side that like you can make up for any mistakes. Once you switch over into fermentation and get to the cold side, that's where if you make mistakes, it's probably pouring beer down the drain at that point in time. So when I showed up, he's just like, I need you to make wort. Like, that's what I need you to do. Okay. So I immediately jumped into the brew house and really didn't learn much about the cellar, probably until that 8 months time when he finally needed it, because I was pushing to like, I want to do this, I want to do this. He's like, I just need you to do this for right now.
Just chill, babe. Chill.
Yeah. So yeah, I did that. Like I said, kind of paid internship is kind of how I like approached it at first. I had a lot of free time, working 1 or 2 days a week, but and then kind of since then, it's grown into a full-time job. You know, I've been kind of promoted and up to lead brewer now, and we do have a head brewer here as well. It's me and him are the two full-timers, so all we do is work in the brew house. We do have 2 part-time assistants that help as well, and I say part-time because the rest of the time they are behind the bar. So
it's kind of like school and training them up.
Yeah, which is really cool to have 2 of your brewers that are behind the bar.
People always want to talk
because
to them about it.
you just have very knowledgeable people about the beer because they're making that beer, also pouring it. So
very cool.
It's a lot of fun. I'm very unique in that I just stepped into the brew house. All 3 of the other people that are in the brew house, the youngest, like, one working here, she has been here for 13 years.
Oh, wow.
The other part-timer has been here about 15 or 16. And then Jimmy, who's our head brewer here, has worked here for 22 years.
Jeez. So you guys got some history.
Yeah. So people kind of, work their way into it. This place, I've never watched anybody walk in the door and start waiting tables.
Right.
If you are going to work here, you start at the host stand.
Right.
Now, I have seen people work at the host stand for like 2 weeks and then start waiting tables.
Right.
But I've also seen people, be at the host stand for months before they start waiting tables. This is, it's a very unique kind of atmosphere in that way. We have one of the bartenders that's behind the bar started 3 months after this place opened up 28 and a half years ago, and he's still behind the bar.
Damn.
And in the service industry, you do not find that kind of, how people like stick around. I think it says a lot about the company.
Right.
It says a lot about the money that they make behind the bar here too, to be honest. We're busy all the time. The thing about being in a tourist town is that we get these things we call mud season, shoulder season, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
It's really the time between summer and winter. Kind of you get 2 of them around that time frame. It'll snow one day. It'll be 70 degrees the next day. It'll rain the next day. It just kind of, that's why they call it mud season. It's just nasty out,
Spring sucks.
For locals, that's our time of the year because this is our town during that time frame.
Oh, because everyone...
because there's not a whole lot of tourists here. Those are starting to shrink just with how popular it's getting up here. But
I can see why.
Yeah, so even during those shoulder seasons, we're pretty busy here. It's an iconic spot. I mean, it's the 3rd oldest craft brewery in the state of Colorado.
Right. Wow.
Boulder Beer and Wind Coop are before us, and then we opened up. Like I said, that's 28 and a half years ago at this point in time. And this is an estate that is, there's a brewery on every corner, and then there's a brewery next door to that. You know, like it's, you know, it hasn't gotten out of control because everybody's surviving. You know, there are breweries that don't make it, but you really don't hear about that. Like just there's a very educated beer drinker that lives in this state. You know, you could probably only compare that to like Oregon, places like that. Here in the States, you know.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure there's other places. I haven't been to the Northeast and really drank beer, which I need to do, because we'll probably get into, because I'm a Haze. The Haze craze is a real thing.
It's a beautiful thing. Do you guys do
it? We do. That's not on our flight yet.
Yes.
It's my favorite thing on tap right now, so I was kind of saving the best for last. So, yes.
Ready.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's amazing, man. I didn't realize there was so much history. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool.
Yeah. You're in this is a spot. I mean,
I can see, I mean, I guess this building this is where it started, right?
Yep,
so
right
this
here.
This is the 28 and a half year old.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
this used to be a gas station.
Really?
Yeah.
Best views. Gas station, the best views ever.
Yeah, it's a rough gig to be sitting on your brew deck downstairs and looking out to this. It's, you know, somebody's got to do it. I just decided it was going to be me and not let somebody else do it. Is pretty much.
You're taking one for the team. You're a soldier. Yeah. We thank you.
Absolutely.
I love it. I was drinking a little bit too quick there.
You do your thing, man. There's plenty of beer around here.
What's the next one?
I believe that the next one that I poured in order is, it's our American Pilsner. So also keeping it light. I kind of half joke around. It's our New England Pilsner.
Why is it just unfiltered?
We don't have a filter in house. I don't filter anything.
Good.
I don't care about that. That doesn't, like, it's not a thing for us.
Yeah.
You know, I use kettle finings and other things that you can do to clear a beer up. The funny thing is like, you know, I've been brewing for almost 8 years between my home brewing and brewing here, and I've never brewed a Pilsner.
No? First time?
Until this.
Nice.
And we go balls deep. So it's 20 barrels, just go for it. We do that all the time. We have other brewers that are like, you guys didn't brew like a pilot batch of this before? My 10-barrel system is our pilot system. So it's kind of, I compare it to cooking. As a chef, you know ingredients. Mm-hmm. You know the process. So it's the same thing. Like, I trust that I can make a good product.
Yeah.
Is the beer going to be exactly what I wanted it to be? Maybe not, but it's not going to be something I'm pouring down the drain. Right. It's still going to be a good beer. I have faith in myself in that. So
I like that.
That's why we
take the risk.
Yeah, that's why we just go for it. So the funny thing is like making a Pilsner, I guess I kind of wanted it to be clear. Just because when you think about it, this has been lagering for like 3 weeks. It is getting clearer and clearer by the day. But I used every kind of way to clarify beer that I have without having a filter.
Right.
And it's the one beer that didn't
really come out
clear. Because you can look at the other two that we're going to get to on our flight that are crystal clear.
I thought this was a Pils.
No, right, exactly. Actually, and that's the Milkshake IPA, the one that I want to be, the one I want to be hazy.
Really?
Is like the clearest beer we have in our, and we'll get to that.
We'll get to that in a second.
That's a funny story.
Jumping ahead of time.
Anyways,
hazy
cheers.
Pilsner. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
It's great. That's it. All right. So the brewpub itself, or the brewery itself, can you speak to the history of the place itself?
Like, so as I mentioned earlier, like third oldest craft brewery in the state.
So it mean early 90s.
Yeah.
Early to mid 90s.
Yep. So this is it. They opened up here. A few years in, they were bottling downstairs here as well, and starting to kind of try and get the beer down to the front range, as we call it, down to Denver, and all that.
I learned that term recently.
Yep. So it was then after I don't remember the exact time frame, but like 3 to 4 years, something like that, after opening up here, they realized that it wasn't very practical to do all that in such a small location and then get the beer down to the front range as well. So Breckenridge did open up a brewery, a second location down in Denver. They bought a building About a year after they bought it, they announced that they were building the Rockies Stadium, like right across the street, basically. So like a very well-timed operation. Some people know that spot is called Colorado Craft.
Okay.
So they opened up there. They only brewed there for like 3 or 4 years. It wasn't very long there either, because things were just taking off. They needed a bigger space even than what they had already moved to.
Okay.
So they moved to a location that was just south of Denver, off Calumet. It's just street there. It's kind of an industrial area just south of downtown Denver.
Okay.
They brewed there up until 3 years ago.
Right.
They were at that location. So I believe it was a 30 barrel system that they were on there. Brewed there for a long time. Then about 3.5 years ago, they built our new facility, which is about 20 minutes south of there. So it's in a town called Littleton, just a suburb of Dallas. It is a 12-acre facility that they have there now. It's a 100-barrel system. It's state of the art. They take care of 42 states out of there. I believe they're on pace for this year. I don't know if they'll hit 100,000 barrels this year or not. I think it might be closer to like 85, 90. But the space was built out to grow to be about a 300,000 barrel facility when it's all said and done, once they kind of get all the tanks like in place. So it's, like I said, it's state of the art. It's an amazing facility. There is a restaurant on site called the Farmhouse. So the whole production facility we kind of all just refer to as the Farmhouse.
Okay.
So it's a restaurant that's across the street, just like the street from the brewery that's there on site. Out back, there's a huge patio, bocce ball, cornhole, fire pits. They've got a stage they built out there. Behind that is all open space. Mm-hmm. What that means is that nobody can ever build on it. It's just Littleton, like open space. There's a bike path. There's a river that goes through that, and it just looks up at the mountains, at the Front Range. So, it's quite the facility for sure. And all that, I know this. We'll get into this, but all of this was done prior to our merger with ABI. So that all happened about a year or so
After
before this all like kind of came about. So that facility was there. Like I said, I believe it's 42 states now that they're handling.
It's serious. So they built it up significantly prior to
right.
Okay, that's really, that was one of the questions I had. Was like, at what point did it? Like, I guess they would have had to attract that interest. So they would have already sort of had multiple facilities and the accounts everywhere. Okay. Do you guys do any packaging from this?
No, so we don't. So it's all of our core beer, any packaging that you find around the states, anywhere, is all done down there at that facility. So what we've kind of been coined as, I would assume that ABI kind of coined us as this as being the innovation center.
Right, like the experimental side.
Do I have our core beer on tap? Absolutely.
Right.
We have Avalanche, Agave Wheat, Vanilla Porter. Those are our three big guns. Always have been. We always have those three beers on tap here.
Okay.
The other things that are in the portfolio, I have in package form, whether it's can, bottle. We do carry everything across the board for the most part that they make down there.
Okay.
We have 12 beers on tap here. 10 of them are on the board. The other 2 we refer to as the secret taps.
Okay.
So you just kind of got to know, come in, hey, what's your rotator,
tabs?
what's on the secret tabs. We don't shy away and hide it from anybody.
Right, but you just don't advertise it.
It's a cool selling point for our wait staff as, on the secret tap today, is this. So it's just our smaller batch things, or like when a beer gets down and only a few kegs left, I'll kind of shift it over there.
Gotcha.
Throw something else up on the board. But so 3 of the beers are our core. It's not always just the 3.
Okay.
Sometimes half the list is our core beer. It kind of just really depends on the time of year.
Right.
We're really busy, and it's really tough to keep up on a 10-barrel system sometimes.
Can people buy any package stuff here?
Or we do growler fills. So we do that. We also have a crowler machine. So we do those 32-ounce cans to go. I personally I prefer that.
Any day. Growlers are cool.
I push for that the day I started working here. About a year later, we got it, and we've had it for about 3 years.
Nice.
Had a crowler machine. They fly out the door.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a much better like selling point, especially if you're trying to drink a beer by yourself.
You don't need
you don't need 64 ounces sometimes.
No.
You know, and being the state that we're in, very outdoorsy. Taking a can camping with you as opposed to a 64-ounce glass bottle.
Yeah, you don't
just
want that.
makes a lot more sense. So yeah, so you can get any of our beer for the most part. We do have a couple, like we're gonna get in. You mentioned the sexy motor oil.
Yes.
We'll get into that. We'll try that. We don't sell that to go. It's so small. I empty a barrel at a time. There's
Right.
like 3 kegs of that at a time.
Okay, so
I
it's-
don't. You got a 13.5% bourbon barrel aged stout that's been sitting for a year downstairs. It's
Nobody needs 32 ounces.
I can't put a price point on that. Like,
Yeah, it'd probably be pretty like
right.
ridiculous.
It's like sometimes we're like $50.
Yeah,
like
like
I don't know how to even begin to price this out. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so you can get any of our beer here to go in that format. So.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So it's like, I guess it's that true brew pub experience. It's not like a fridge with the bottles
Absolutely.
and stuff. Okay,
Yep,
fantastic.
yeah, absolutely.
So might as well like get into it now. So the merger. So you were here before the merger, and of course after. So it seems like from what we spoke about off camera earlier, you've sort of almost 50-50 with your time.
Yeah,
here.
I'm basically 50-50.
So you've got one of the best perspectives.
I do.
On it is because it's literally
Yeah.
even.
I have my perspective from here. The guys down at the production facility, not to say that they don't sing a different tune, but they
might
have a different, kind of perspective on it. I can't really speak to that.
Gotcha.
I can only speak from my, what I've experienced up here. I don't, we talked about this before. Like, I don't get. I understand the hate, I guess, in a way, but at the same time, like, I don't really get it. Like,
Okay.
who cares? Most of the people that are very vocal about it, sure, we both make beer, but we're not even competitors with these people. You've got some of these breweries that are like sour breweries. These guys. I make sour beer, but on a very small level here. A lot of it's kettle sours, but like. You are a long-term, you're a very small brewery, you're probably brewing like 500 barrels a year, and you're the one that's going to be the most vocal about it. Like, when Vanilla Porter and, I don't want to name any names, but let's just put a 750 milliliter like sour beer on the shelf next to each other.
Yeah.
Sure, it's beer, but they're not even the same product. And it seems to be that people like that are the most vocal about it, which I just personally, I don't understand.
Right.
They've been nothing but good to us here.
Okay.
I don't necessarily have access to things that other people don't. Sure, there's some hops out there. I think at this point there's some malts that we have access to as a company, but I don't have any hop contracts here. I
Right.
fend for myself, just like the other guys that are here in the county. Some of the other guys here have contracts.
Right.
Never signed a hop contract before. I hit what we call in the industry a spot hop list, which is just like what they have
Make
on
a call,
hand.
hey, what's up?
Yeah,
Can
I
I
need
get-
this. Like, thanks. I need a couple boxes of this.
Right.
They have leveraged us to not worry about beer costs. They want us to literally make whatever we want.
Okay.
They want us to push the boundaries. There's a lot of talk about that they're going to come in and decrease the quality of the product.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't disagree with the statement more of what anybody else feels. Like, they do eventually kind of help with the brewing process. I've been involved with, just to pick one product, Vanilla Porter, and tastings of that they have made it on our behalf. And it's the process that we're going through to make sure that Vanilla Porter tastes the exact same it's very meticulous. This has been going on for 2.5 years now. Like, and they still are trying, so to say that they're coming in and cutting quality, I don't get
You haven't
that.
seen anything
I
like
don't
that.
I don't get that statement. It's the exact opposite, if you want my opinion, that they want us putting, a good product out. They want it to be the exact same product. That's
Right.
why they purchased us, is, to allow us to kind of operate as we were. They didn't buy us to come in and change things.
Right.
Like, we joked around about, like, did I become a robot because 2.5 years ago ABI signs my paycheck instead of Breckenridge Brewery. No, it's all the same people here.
Right.
You know,
Nobody left.
It's just not up here. I think the production facility had some people that felt differently about it, and that's fine. You know, that's your opinion. You do whatever you want. You know, I got it. To be like open book, I was not really stoked about it when I found out about it. I found out about it about an hour before it hit public knowledge.
Right. And why was that? What?
We found out up here the night before. And
why weren't you happy about it?
Just the same reasons that everybody doesn't like it. I'm a craft beer guy. I make small batch, and I just didn't know. You know, you just hear from everybody the hate.
Right.
But I didn't know anybody that had actually been through the process. You know, and it was really interesting. Some of the emails I got from friends.
Okay.
I had a friend that was a sales rep for Oscar Blues at the time. She sent me a very long email that like I still have saved to this day and read from time to time, and that she's just saying like, I never knew somebody that has gone through this, but I know you, I know you're passionate about beer, I know that you're not going to change in these things just because somebody else is signing your paycheck. And it just meant a lot to me, you know, to hear it from a friend that's in the industry, you know, because she even like kind of had like this, I didn't know either. Like, how does this go? Right. You know, and you know, they didn't fire us all. They didn't bring in their coat and ties and, you know, come in and there's a guy in a suit making beer now. It's not like that at all. And the people that are part of the high end, which is, you know, the umbrella that we're kind of coined being under, they're They're me. It's the same people.
Right.
Like they're crazy about beer, and they want to make a good product, and that's the experience that I've had. And I'll you know, whatever my future is moving on from here, if it's, you know, to go elsewhere, whatever it is, I will never have any ill feelings towards Anheuser-Busch. I won't.
Okay, good. So it's always an interesting, like I was telling you just before, the only other one we'd spoken to was Magic Hat, who went through, it wasn't through AB though. And I know that the craft people have a pretty strong, generally a strong opinion on it. I don't meet many people who are cool with it. I think it's mostly just because, I guess, some of the tactics that maybe I can't really speak to in detail. Like some of them maybe not anti-competitive, but just because like you look at that map and you've seen the things with the supermarket shelves. Right. I know I have that one little space, but AB owns literally every single part, and it's kind of like systematically pushing craft out. So I guess that's probably where most people have.
I get that on the distribution side. I was kind of gonna get into that, but I just like I'm not on that end of the business. I can only speak from like what side of the business I'm on. Right. I never want to be in the sales end of this business. Oh no. Period. At all. It doesn't matter whether you're the little guy, the big guy. I don't want to be a part of that. Yeah. It's not what I do. My craft is making beer. Right. You know, but you know, this whole definition of like craft beer. I didn't mention this. Like, you're going to tell me that I don't make craft beer. I make 1,000 barrels a year. I make 10 barrels of beer at a time. Like, just because of who signs my paycheck, I don't make craft beer. Like, I'm sorry, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that's dumb.
Thank you so much for your time. You're a gentleman. We get to do this all day. We didn't have to
go to goddamn
Colorado Springs.
I want to say two things.
Yes.
One thing. On my opinions about ABI, they're my opinions.
Yes.
Like I said, that, you know, that distribution side, I know nothing about that. I get the arguments on both sides. I do just want to put that out there. Yeah, it is. It is. The other thing is, like, I've said a lot of I just because we're sitting here and talking, but we're a team here. Yep. Jimmy is our head brewer. Jimmy's been here for a long time. We have two assistants, like I said, Greg and Suzanne. I want to give a shout out to both of them. Suzanne she's my grasshopper. She never had brewed a beer in her life. Right. And she works in the brew house with us. She's killer. She's killing it. She is. It's awesome. I love to see women getting involved with beer. Yeah. I do. And
needs more diversity.
I'm very proud of her, and just she's doing a good job. You know, fantastic. So I do want to be clear about that this is a team thing around here. Definitely. And we all have input in all of our beers, and everybody touches them, everybody does everything, and anyways, I just wanted
that's just
whatever.
great.
It just as I walked away, like I
You're
thought
like,
about like what did I just say like off the cuff of my head.
Yeah,
so
man.
those are the two things. So
No
ABI,
problem.
everybody have your opinions, man. If you hate, you hate. It is what it is. It's your opinion. And like I said a little I, but it is we. It truly is. It's just in the moment. That's what we're.
Well, I mean, we're
sitting here
talking, like
about.
you said, we're talking to you. We're talking about your experience.
Right,
so
right.
the I never didn't even cross my mind that it was anything.
Right.
And I guess hopefully people realize that it's very rarely a one person
Right,
show.
right.
So that's good. And also,
It definitely is not here. It's
No,
a team effort.
it's fantastic. I
So,
love that. And
yeah.
also, just while you were doing that, I was just yapping to myself or yapping to the people, and like, I like your candor about everything with this, and I appreciate your openness with the AB stuff, because it is touchy. And I was saying it's my job as we're presenting this information. I have to be agnostic and be like, well, what are the facts?
Right.
And get everybody's side. So I know a lot of the audience aren't going to be receptive to that.
Right, and that's
But
fine. I'm
when-
sure there'll be the hate from
They will be,
what
like-
my opinion is,
Yeah.
and that's great. You can hate on it because I'm hating on you for
Yeah.
having the other opinion. You know what I mean?
you're-
Like
you're-
it truly is.
Yeah,
so,
I get it.
and it's
I mean,
fine.
You're in it, right? So I mean, like, everyone can talk shit,
Yeah.
but you live it.
Yeah.
You lived it. You are living
Yeah.
it, and you went.
And we
through
live in
change.
this touchy world right now.
Yeah, everyone's like,
It's
everyone's super opinionated
everybody
with
gets
beer.
offended.
All the
Everybody's
time.
so offended. Like nobody's allowed to have an opinion anymore.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous.
It is gotten a little
I mean,
ridiculous. but-
sometimes there's too many. Like, you don't know what you can and can't say.
Yeah.
But even beyond that, just
No,
with
what
beer,
you
people
should
are
say
still
is you
opinions.
should say whatever the fuck you want to say.
And if you're a piece of shit, then people will know.
That's
it, I guess.
fine. Yeah.
It'll be better. People know.
Yeah, and that's fine. And
But-
the pieces of shit, that's their opinion, and they're passionate about that.
So
and
then-
you don't have to agree with them, but there's no reason to roast those people just because you have a different opinion.
Fair. And I think that, hopefully the beer people will at least be able to, even if they feel a way about it, be able to hear what you had to say, being as someone who, you don't have any stake in the company,
Yeah.
you don't know an owner.
I didn't have a vote.
Yeah, like you didn't get to see, you got told.
Nobody
not
asked
before.
me, do you want to sell out to ABI? And if I had a vote, it didn't count anyway.
And all your
so
ba-
it doesn't
yeah.
like
So there you go.
it doesn't like I didn't have an opinion in it, and I'm not quitting my job. Like, guys, look at this.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
ABI bought me out. I should quit brewing here just because of that.
Yeah,
And
you
go
wanna
work
look at these.
work in a warehouse district in Des Moines,
windows.
Iowa. No offense to Des Moines, but that's
It's a lovely
just what
town.
first came to mind for whatever
Sure, it's a great
reason.
town.
I'm sure it's a great town, but
Lovely town.
the views are wonderful.
There's 4 walls, little window at the top, if you're lucky. Mate, where can they find you online? Whether it's the brewery or yourself.
At Breck Brewpub.
Yep, that's
Is
the one.
where we're at. Yeah,
Perfect.
for sure. So there is at Breckenridge Brewery as well.
Okay, so that's probably more the demo.
I don't do Facebook. No, too political.
It's a lot.
There's a lot of opinions on Facebook.
A lot of aunties on there.
Back to the touchy subject. I got tired of
Yeah.
giving an opinion in like 100 comments.
Yeah.
And I'm a very opinionated person. I will be the first to admit that.
Hey, man.
But so I just go to Instagram. It's photos.
Nice and easy.
It doesn't. I literally I gave up Facebook for a month, and that was 2 years ago, and I have yet to go back.
Damn.
I just haven't. So Instagram, and at Breck
There we
Brewpub. So that's specific to here.
That bit, this one, yep.
You will hear about like what's on the secret taps. You hear about upcoming beers, things like that.
Fantastic.
Then, like I said, there's at Breckenridge Brewery as well.
They want to see the
that's kind of
larger
the
perspective.
like company wide.
Yep.
So there's the 2 of those. Follow that.
Oh yeah, amazing, man. Thank you again. That was fantastic. Really enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
We're gonna
It's a
get this
pleasure to hang
photo.
out.
It really was. I want to get this photo on the roof
Yeah.
for this one. Switch it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So guys, if you enjoyed the episode, mate, smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe below, and hit the notification bell ding so you know when the new drops. Follow us on
Hashtag
Team
Team
Lactose.
Lactose.
Comment that on literally everything you see to do with Blake, Breckenridge Brewery, us, your mother, your grandma,
and
your
tag at Brews Traveler 365 behind hashtag Team Lactose.
You're going to love it. Follow us on social media at BAOS Podcast. Check out the long form audio so you can hear very attractive gentlemen like Uncle Blake right here talk about beer and lactose for an insanely long amount of time. Spotify, we're up on there now. Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. That's it, guys. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, guys.